Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Casey and I do a lot of sewing content. Normally I'm doing sewing content. I have hardly been doing any sewing at all over the last few months, really over the last year, because, broken record moment, we have been working on our house. It's been very exciting and I have completely immersed myself in home projects over the last year, which I actually really love doing them. I think they're a lot of fun. But I've also really not had a lot of time to do sewing projects and also not a lot of time to post new content here on this channel, even though I love posting on this channel and I also love consuming sewing content. But the exciting news is that we are working on renovating our basement right now, and that is where my sewing room is going to be moving eventually, hopefully in the next month or two. I don't know, the timeline is just so kind of hard to nail down. Anybody who's done a home renovation understands this, because I always have very lofty goals for the projects that I want to get done, and I don't always get them done in the time that I think I'm going to get them done. But I'm already starting to ramble about home projects and I'm sorry. Let's get back to the sewing. One thing that I am always doing, and actually one of my favorite parts of sewing, is planning my sewing projects. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all of the things that I would be sewing if I had time for sewing. When I do have time, I always have a list of things that I want to work on, things that I want to sew for my wardrobe. Another thing too that has made me feel a little bit kind of like womp womp is that because we've been working so much on our house, most of my wardrobe has consisted of like Old Navy t-shirts and leggings and overalls and like carpenter pants. So I haven't really felt very creatively fulfilled in my wardrobe lately. And I am really missing adding new things to my wardrobe that, you know, really speak more to my style. Let's just get right into it. So the number one thing that I have wanted to sew for years, and especially with the changing of the seasons, is a barn coat. Now, if you've been familiar with my videos in the past, you may know this already, but I really enjoy sewing outerwear. It's one of my favorite things to sew. I love getting into the details of outerwear, and I also love the fact that in the wintertime, when you're covering everything you're wearing with heavy jackets, that I can still kind of express my creative sewing style through outerwear. So I would really like to make a barn coat. I've wanted to make a barn coat for a really long time, and I have several barn coats pinned on my Pinterest. One that's a little more casual with possibly a contrast like corduroy collar or something. I would really love to do a barn coat. So that's the number one thing. And right now, this time of year when the seasons are changing, this is always when I start working on coat projects. And I feel like a barn coat never really goes out of style. Like I remember having a barn coat when I was in like middle school. Like I remember my mom and I shared a barn coat and it was like something we got at Walmart. I think it was probably like a Faded Glory brand barn coat, but it was really cool. It was like a kind of olivey dark green with the corduroy collar, and I really loved that coat. So I feel like a barn coat is always in style, and I would really love to add one to my wardrobe. I don't have one. I don't think I have one. Yeah, I don't think I have like a stylish barn coat. I have a kind of more utilitarian kind of work coat that I've worn when doing some of the projects when I'm working outside. But I want something that's a little bit more stylish to add to my wardrobe. The next thing, this is kind of a category of things that I would like to sew, is more blouses to go with jeans. So I feel like a couple of years ago, I was really in my dress era and I wanted to make a lot of dresses, and I did make a lot of dresses and I really enjoyed wearing dresses, but now they're just not as practical for my everyday wear. I'm like good on pants. So I needed more blouses to wear with all of my pants, and I'd like blouses that look cute layered under kind of lighter weight jackets, especially for the fall season. I have a really cool moto jacket. It's like a green suede moto jacket that I got. Here, I'll show it to you real quick. Hang on a sec. So I bought this jacket on Poshmark a while back. I got it last year, and it is so cute, and it's a suede jacket. I love wearing this. It looks good layered over just about everything, but it is a little bit kind of snug, so I can't wear like big bulky sweaters or stuff like that under it. So I would really like some kind of romantic blouses to layer under this to wear with jeans. I think that would just look so cute. I have all of these vintage patterns that I collect and have picked up at thrift stores. Every time I go to the thrift store, I look for vintage patterns. It's just kind of something I really enjoy doing. You can pick up vintage patterns for 50 cents or $1, and a lot of these styles come back into style. I always try to look for more foundational patterns that I can kind of hack and build off of, and I keep telling myself that eventually I'm gonna make myself some really pretty blouses using some of these vintage patterns and some of my own patterns or other patterns that I have in my stash. But I do have a lot of patterns to choose from, so I need to start digging through those and finding some that I want to make. I also recently discovered the YouTube channel of Martha Moore Porter, and she made this really amazing vintage pattern. It was like basically kind of a more stylish take on a button-up shirt, and it had a little peplum on it. Well, it was actually a tunic length and she made it into a peplum, and I was like, I love that. I immediately went online and tried to find the vintage pattern. It's like, I can't find it anywhere online. So I'm gonna keep looking for that. But I thought it was just a really, really cool blouse, and she did it in linen. And I also thought that doing my Vivi blouse in linen would be really cute and really nice and just like a wardrobe staple. I did make a kind of cotton poplin version of it when I was doing the samples for that pattern. And I love the style of that shirt, but the cotton poplin, I just don't really enjoy wearing it that much. It's like too stiff, and the fabric is soft, but it just doesn't have, I don't know, I feel like it's a little constricting with the movement because of the type of fabric. It makes kind of a swishy sound when it rubs up against itself. So I'd like to make another version of that and make it out of a linen so that it's a little bit softer and it gets a little softer with wear, and then also make it a little bit more cropped so it has that kind of peplum vibe to it. But I've really been enjoying Martha's channel lately. Like, I've been watching several of her videos, and I love watching her kind of go through her planning process. I love her style. She has a really, really great style, and she's worked in the fashion industry, and so she just knows a lot of things. Like, she was talking about finding vintage buttons on eBay. And I was like, I never thought to look for buttons on eBay. You know, I always go to, well, used to always go to Joann and would just pick up whatever I could find there. Occasionally I would go to a little shop in Lansing, which is close to where we live, and they would have some vintage buttons, and I would get buttons there, or I would find buttons at the thrift store. But I'm definitely going to be utilizing eBay as a resource for finding buttons in the future. So if you haven't checked out her channel, I will put a link to that down below. It's just a really fun, kind of chatty style of sewing vlogging. A couple of years ago, I also made 2 mesh shirts that I just hacked from my comfy lounge tee pattern. And I love those shirts. Like, I almost wore them for this video today. I've worn them so many times in my videos because I just love the style of them, and they're so comfortable. I feel so good when I wear those shirts. So I would like to make some more tops like that. Those were really successful projects for me, and I have worn them so much. And so I would like to make more of them, because when I find something that I like, I want to make it over and over and over again so that it's easy to get dressed and get out the door. Now, another thing I want to make, and I've actually had this on my mind since I released the Mia pattern, I want to make a color blocked Mia turtleneck. And I haven't even been able to find anything exactly like what I want. I should do like a little illustration, and maybe I'll put it here. But I thought something that looked a little bit mod, but you know, it was just like a knit shirt that could kind of be easy to wear. Because here's the thing with my wardrobe lately. I still want to look cute when I go out, but a lot of the kind of cuter tops that I have feel a little bit too dressy for a lot of things that I'm doing now, like going to the grocery store, going to the hardware store, going to the thrift store, and yeah, that's pretty much all the places that I go right now. Oh, going to the gym. So I'm not wearing anything cute when I go to the gym. But I have this vision of a color blocked turtleneck that I think would just be really cool. Kind of have a little bit of a mod vibe, and also just look really great with jeans. Again, I feel like a good fitted turtleneck, you can wear it with just about anything. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. That is like my mantra for my wardrobe. Dress it up, dress it down, goes with everything. Because that, again, I need ease of wear, but also I want to feel cute when I'm out and about. I was looking through my Pinterest yesterday, and I found this pin that I pinned last year. Maybe it was last year. It might have been this year. Anyway, the show Nobody Wants This on Netflix, they just released a 2nd season, and I have already binged it. I really have enjoyed this show, but the 1st season, Kristen Bell's character, Joann, has the coolest wardrobe ever. I love all the stuff that she wears in that season, and there's one outfit in particular that is like the embodiment of the types of outfits that I really love and feel the best in, and it's just a pair of wide leg jeans with a fitted button up. It looks like it could be a knit top. I could use the same pattern hack that I did for the mesh button up that I did that I loved so much. So I thought just doing something like that out of like either a black or a dark brown, like a dark chestnut brown bamboo knit or something would be really nice. And I could just throw it on with jeans and boots and a cute purse and good to go. And in the category of more blouses, I really want to make a ruffled blouse. So I like things that are practical in my wardrobe, and I like things that go with everything. And I also like ruffles. So I'm not afraid to admit it. There was a time in my personal style history where I felt a little bit like, oh, I shouldn't wear ruffles. It's not age appropriate. But you know what? I'm in my 40s now. I can do whatever I want. So I want a blouse with some more ruffles on it. And I do like kind of pairing a really feminine blouse with something more utilitarian, like a pair of cargo pants or a pair of wide leg jeans. You know, like I feel like a cute ruffled blouse, you can't go wrong. I found this image of a ruffled blouse. I love the style of that actual blouse with the ruffles and the V-neck, and kind of like, I would also probably have it buttoned all the way down to the waistline of my pants. But yeah, I really like that a lot. And I actually have some fabric that would be really cute for that, that I did make another shirt out of. It didn't really work out well. It wasn't super easy to work with, but I think it would work really well for a blouse like this. Okay, a long time ago, I mean, this has been like several years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years, actually more than that, probably like 6 years ago. How long have we been in Michigan? Long time. A long time ago, there was this woman on Instagram who would post these dance videos. I don't even remember her Instagram handle or her name. I just like happened to come across her stuff one day, and she had on a like pleated or like a tucked, you know, basically a button up with tucks across the front, and it was made out of a like sheer fabric, like a sheer silk, or I can't even think of fabric names right now, but basically like a sheer, really flowy fabric, and it was white, and she had it layered over like a black tank top with like black bike shorts maybe, I don't know. But ever since I saw that top, I was like, I want a top like that. And when I designed my birdie button-up pattern, I have a version that has the tucks across the chest, and I think it would be so good for a shirt like that. And it's been years since I've had the idea to make a shirt like that, and I still have not made it. I've tried to find like examples of this to pin it just so that I don't forget about it, and obviously I haven't forgot about it because I'm talking about it now. But if I can find an image that's similar to what I'm thinking about, I'll post it here. But I would love to have something like that. But I think I would like to make it cropped, because the one that I saw before was more of a tunic length. I think I would like to do one that's a little bit more cropped. Oh, actually I do have an image for something like that. This right here, but in a more sheer fabric that could be, oh my gosh, I'm getting really excited about that. I think that would be so cute over like a black tank top with some jeans and some boots and layered under my moto jacket. Yeah, that's a vibe. I would like that a lot. And then I'd also like to make a new pair of Nelly joggers. So Nelly joggers were the first pair of pants that I think I released in my pattern library. And it's a really great pattern. I have a pair that I made, but the fabric, it's like a, it's like a viscose twill or a tencel twill kind of fabric. So it's very comfortable to wear, but it's like drapey and soft and comfortable, but also doesn't really have a lot of give at all. So, and I also didn't really love the color of those pants. The green, I kind of wanted something that was like an olive green, and I found that fabric at Joann, and it just, you know, look, Joann was great for kind of last minute sewing project stuff, and I could sometimes find great fabrics there. But for the most part, I always felt like their kind of color selections were really kind of lacking for me. Like they weren't, it was like there was always something a little bit off about the colors of the like solid color fabrics that they had for garment sewing. And anyway, those pants, I have actually worn those pants quite a lot, but ever since I made those, I've been wanting to make a pair out of linen that was a little bit deeper green color. And I actually do have some linen over here that I bought from, is it fabricstore.com, whatever the linen, the place where you can get linen fabrics online. They have a lot of selection, but I got this from fabricstore.com, and it's just a really great green linen, and I would love to make myself another pair of Nelly joggers out of this. And a few weeks ago, I was very much planning to do that, and I was about to cut out this fabric, and then I got really excited about working on our basement, and then it just kind of got put to the wayside. So that is another thing I'd like to make. And then the last thing that I would like to do, I have a couple of pairs of Levi's jeans that I got. They're like I think they're the wedgie fit, or basically they're like the really high rise straight leg jean. I really love the shape of the jeans, but I hate the fly because they're both button flies, and I feel like they just add a lot of bulk to the belly area. Like I feel like it never really lays very flat, and look, nobody wants to add bulk to their midsection. So I would like to replace those with an actual zipper, and I would also like to do a tutorial on how to do that. So I've been putting off that project until I can actually do a tutorial for how to replace a fly in your jeans. I thought that would be a really helpful tutorial to do. But I have two pair of identical Levi's jeans. They're just in different colors or different washes of denim that I would like to fix and replace the button fly with a zipper fly. So anyway, those are the projects. If I had time to sew, those are the projects that would be the top of my list. And yes, it's an unrealistically long list of things to make just for fall. But like I said, planning for me is one of the most fun parts of sewing. I love kind of touching fabric and looking through all of my patterns and spending time on Pinterest at night when I'm watching a show. I'll have a show on the TV, I'll be on Pinterest on my computer or on my phone, and I just kind of get into the zone. That's like my little guilty pleasure every evening. It's just like playing on my phone and watching a show. So anyway, eventually I will be, hopefully soon-ish, in the next few weeks, depending on what your definition of soon is, I will be moving my sewing room down to the basement. So I think I'll end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas for things that you would like me to chat about on the channel here related to sewing or related to my patterns or anything like that, leave me a comment down below. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.